So I have an Xbox One gaming system, and you know, it's kind of cool when the different worlds collide, where gaming meets technology meets my maker side. And you know, I had a little project where I wanted to be able to organize my Xbox One controllers. So you know, I played around, got a surface that I could remove from a stock of wood that would fit the controllers, and everything would look pretty good. Um, so I wanted to see how that would fit in my Xcarve, how I would cut it. So I actually went out. Since the Xcarve is an open source machine, I was able to get the 3D model thanks to the Inventables guys, and off of GrabCAD, bring it in. I added joints in here, and I could kind of look and see how this thing was going to move. So you could see, you know, basically the gantry and everything, how it all moves. But the really cool thing here is if I go to the side, you know, I can drag this over in the home position and drag the bit down. I don't have the stock in the 00, but I can get a pretty good sense of where that's at there. And then let's see how far over I can get the bit to cut out. And I can see here that it's not going to make it all the way over to cut all the material for the controller. So I can see that I'm going to have to rotate the stock and just cut a left side, and then index the stock down and cut the right side. So that's exactly what I did. If I go over to my material here, I don't really need the frame around it right now. So I can see I have the four different controllers. I have the left side and the right side. And I'm going to go over to the cam tool path. And you'll see here that I actually created 3 different setups. Depending on how you do this, I would prefer to use an end mill, just a flat mill, to hog everything out and then come back with a bull nose, but it requires a bit change. So I have those set up in case somebody wants to do that, and I've ran it that way. Today I actually ran it with just a ball nose for everything, and that's what I'll put in the project. So it's just an easy setup. There's no bit change or anything. You just need a ball nose for it, and it cuts it really clean. It works well. So that's the one I'd recommend for now, just because it's easiest. But both of them are in here, so if you want, you can export those. But you can see here I have the left side that I've just cut out. So what I would do is cut the, you know, basically run the G code on the left side, and then I would shift the whole wood, you know, the whole board over. I would have to measure what that is. It's like 6 point something inches, but I'd shift it over, you know, about 6.8 inches, and then recut, you know, cut the other one. So I can see here real quick, if we just want to simulate this, I'll hit simulate, and we'll play this whole thing. I'll add the stock, and we'll speed that up quite a bit so you can just see it cut the whole thing. And I ran this earlier. You'll see a video of it. I ran it today. It actually cut it out really well, so I didn't have to really do any sanding. The tool paths I have right now, it's probably the best setup I have for this so far. It's the second or third time I've cut these out. So here I just have a regular pocket, just a 3D pocket clearing operation with an 1/8 inch ball nose, which worked pretty well. Just picked the contour, and it cut everything. And then I went back in and I did the same thing with the bull nose. I did a bit of overkill. I have an option here that I set. I just learned about this the other day, but you can add a perpendicular pass, so it goes vertically to remove all the material. Because the first one, sorry, I'll step back. The pocket, I have it leaving some material, like 40 thou of material, so then I can come back and clean it up with a finishing pass. So I have a little bit of material left over, and then I come back with a bull nose, and it runs a vertical pass all the way across, and then it comes back perpendicularly and cuts it again. It probably doesn't need the perpendicular pass. It did a good enough job with just the one pass, but it's kind of nice. You don't have to do more material. You know, you don't have to do a lot of sanding or anything after. So I just leave it. But it'll take each of these will take about 50 to 60 minutes to cut each one of them. So you're probably about 4 hours to mill out the whole thing with how I have it set up. You could probably be more aggressive and cut faster and cut deeper. But I just got the X controller machine kind of dialing things in. I'm a little bit of a sissy with that. So Anyway, I have this. You can see it all play back. So basically what we would do, because I can now bring it into easel directly, I don't have to go through the G-code, universal G-code sender. I'm just going to grab this complete setup here that has the two different pass operations, and I'm going to say generate or post process. And in here, I've already gone through the process to and in easel I'll show you where the instructions are to set this up, but I've already downloaded the post process. It's looking out at my cloud for this. So here I can just give it a name, whatever the name is I give it. I've already saved this once, so I'm not going to resave it, but I can hit OK, and it's going to say where do you want to save it and the name you want to save it as. I'm just going to cancel that. So that basically would save the two the pocket and the ball nose, or the parallel pass here. So from here, I'm just going to go into easel and create, I'll launch the app. And once it's launched, this is probably still in beta. If you're really interested, you can ask. There's a form where you can ask to get access, but there's an option here to import G-code, and this is awesome. So if you're doing anything from Fusion or other tools and you just have the G-code, you can come in here and say import G-code. Here it tells you, if you're using different tools, how to go about getting the post process and setting it up. Fusion was really simple. I just followed these instructions, pulled down the post process, saved it in a folder in my cloud drive, turned on cloud post processes in Fusion 360, and it was there. So it is really easy to set up. So then from there, once you've got that set up and you export the right from the right post process, then I can just come in and say, all right, let's navigate out to where I have this particular design. So we'll just go to the controller, and I'm going to grab the left side controller, left side NC, open that up, and that's pretty much it. So I can see that it pulls both of those up. It has the tool pass that you guys saw, and then from here I can just kick off the process and be able to do it. Now I'll go out to the garage and actually go through hooking it up to the machine and everything, but at least getting it started, that takes you to here, and then from here, once it's hooked up, I'll be able to hit carve because it's all set up with the speeds and feeds and everything I need. So at this point I just hit carve, hone in my machine, and then hit go, and it'll cut it out and the way I go. So it's pretty simple to get it from Fusion 360 over here once I've done that.
So then from here pretty much I can just hit carve, and when I do a carve it says, hey, do you want to home your machine? I don't have my spindle on yet, but I'm just going to say yes, let's home it. So you'll notice that it's going to go out and home that. I have the limit switches, so it's going to find the home position. So we'll let it do that. And then from here, I'm just going to eyeball this in a second, but we'll just say we understand. It's clamped down. I'm going to bring the bit down a little bit. And again, I'm not going to worry too much exactly where it is. I'll just kind of eyeball it close. You know, you'll pay a little closer attention and get that right where you want it. But, you know, we'll implement that down. Something like right there. And then I can say, yep, confirm the home position. I'm ready to go. Raise the bit. Turn on the spindle. And I'm ready to go. So that's pretty much it. That's all I've got to do once I export the G-code from Fusion. Then I can bring it over here. I can import it. Tell it that everything's set up, put it in the right position, and the way I go. So that's really easy for me to do. And you have the tool path that will do the left side.
So now we just want to be able to sit back and see it cut it out. We can see sped up quite a bit. It took about 58 minutes to cut out the one pocket. As I mentioned before, you'll see it does a roughing pass, and then it's going to come through and do a vertical pass to clean it up, and then perpendicular to that. And that perpendicular pass, you could probably remove it if you wanted to go into Fusion and turn that off, but it does make it so you don't have to do much sanding, which is pretty cool. So you'll see here, once it finishes that pass, then it's going to go back through. It doesn't really cut too much, but it does clean it up a bit. You can see that fits in there perfectly nice, clean, and snug.